From the windswept shores of Lake Michigan, in beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Society of Peter the Disciple presents The Word Today, with Reverend Calli.
And like my brothers and sisters, please rise to the reading of the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verses 31 to 46. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep in his right hand, and the goats in his left. Then the king will say to those at his right hand, "Come, you that are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry and gave you food, or thirsty and gave you something to drink? And when was it that we saw you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and gave you clothing? And when was it that we saw you sick or in prison and visited you?" And the king will answer them, "Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of those who are members of my family, you did it to me." And he will say to those at his left hand, "You that are accursed, depart from me into the eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not welcome me. Naked, and you did not give me clothing. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me." Then they will also answer, "Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry or thirsty, or a stranger or naked, or sick or in prison, and did not take care of you?" Then he will answer them, "Truly I tell you, just as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me." And these will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. Gospel of the Lord. Please remain standing for our next hymn, number 2173 in the black hymnal, "Shine Jesus Shine."
I just want to issue a special invitation to sing this song loudly. This is a joyous song. I play this and I sing this. I think about the Lord coming in glory, like we just talked about in the last passage. So a nice long instruction so you guys can find the page, and then we can sing there today.
Enjoy the freedom of the prayer. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of our hearts and our souls be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. I'm still a little uncertain up there with all that new wood. Keep having visions of going down into the subfloor. Oh,
It's 8 by 8.
woo!
That's bigger than 4 by 9.
Pretty good. Matt's doing an excellent job up there. It's going to be so great that that's all done, because believe me, that old arrangement was really hard to work with. And this nice, spacious pocket gives a lot more room and a lot more flexibility to do different things in our worship service. Different things to praise God, show God our love and our devotion. And that's what the passage today is about. How did we show God our love and our devotion? How did we really practice what Christ taught in our lives? How did it fill our hearts? And lead us to do the things that Christ wants us to do as Christians. This is what the passage today is about. Were you guys paying really close attention when we read this today? You know, there's a lot of things that God expects us to do. There's a word in that passage, though, that's missing. Something that's not said at all in there. Anybody have an idea? Except for the people who were at the first service who already know, so don't spoil it. What word is missing from that passage?
Love?
Nope. Well, I think that is, but that isn't what. that isn't what I'm looking for. Hmm? No. Faith. Faith. There's no mention in that passage at all about faith. You know, that brings attention, points our attention in Christianity. Some things that we struggle with in our understanding of God. What does God really call us to be? You know, a few weeks ago when I was privileged to stand here for Pastor Jennifer and preach on Reformation Sunday, I talked about the three key elements of the Reformation, things that really changed the church, ideas that took us away out of the dark ages of superstition and made our faith something really alive and active. We talked about Martin Luther telling us about the three onlys: Scripture only, faith only, and grace only. These are the only things in standard Reformation theology that save us. Believing in the Scriptures, having faith that God saves us by grace, by a free act of God's love, offered to us only by us having faith in the Christ, whose reign we celebrate today. The Christ whose throne wasn't a fancy chair, the gold and diamond encrusted seat, an instrument of pain and torture and death. Most Protestants understand our salvation is coming strictly by our faith in Jesus. But this passage asks us for something more than just faith. It asks more for our intellectual acceptance of the idea that Christ is King. It asks for us to live our faith out in practice. How do we live out our faith? This is a question each of us has to ask ourselves, because how we answer that question will decide whether we go to the left, as the goats, or to the right, as the sheep. Welcome to God's presence for all eternity. How do you live out your faith? Again, this is a tension that we suffer as Christians. Because when we look outside and we see all the pain and suffering and misery around us, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and think, I can't do anything. I can't help these people who are suffering. I can't change the world by my actions. I'm just going to sit here, go to church, be a person who says, yeah, I believe in Jesus, and don't do anything else. And then it's also very easy to become self-righteous and to say, well, I accepted Christ as my Savior, now I can do whatever I want. Because, hey, I accepted Christ, got saved, no sweat, no problem. No, my friends. Neither one of those selections is adequate. Neither one of those excuses are going to save us. When Christ does come, and Christ does judge, we are called to live our faith out in concrete actions in the world. How do we do that? Some of that is going to depend on our circumstances. Some of us have been blessed with a lot of gifts. We've been blessed with good jobs, with money, with resources, yeah, with talents, skills that we can use. Maybe some of us don't have that much. God doesn't give us all the same gifts. God doesn't expect the same service from each of us. We give according to the gifts and graces God gives us. Paul talks about that in his epistles. We're not all the same ministry. We're not all to do the same things. It all depends on what we have and what we can use. I try to give what I can with money. I'm not rich. I make a fairly decent salary, but still it's not a lot. I give what I can to the church. I give the skill set I've been blessed with, or at least that I know I've been blessed with. You guys sitting out there, I have a little different view of my preaching and my teaching than I might have. That's okay. I give what I can. You all are called to give what you can too. It may not be very much. We have to be realistic. We have to recognize, I barely have money to feed myself. Money to others. I can do a lot in the church. I'm not a good speaker. I don't have much in the way of education. What do I give? How do I serve? God still gives me stuff to use. One of the things I learned quite early in my ministry was about the ministry of presence. About even when you have hardly anything at all, just being able to sit with somebody in their time of trial. Not good. Being able to sit, to be a friend, to hold them you can when they're hurting. Be able to pray with them. To be able to comfort them after you need it. A convenient illustration today. That's all that we need. That's what we can give. At church, we were talking in the cappuccino service today about the importance of being in church. And it's not necessarily because you get anything out of it yourself. It's because of your presence. Your very act of being here, sitting in the pews, might be helping somebody else on their faith journey. Now, that's why I asked you guys to move up front today. When you're preaching, it really helps to have the people kind of near you. Because it does energize you. And it helps you feel more of the presence of God when you're doing what I'm doing right now. And it helps the other people to feel that they're not alone. That there's other people surrounding them with their prayers, with their presence. Helping others to experience the closeness of God in their lives, when they may be at a time of their life when they feel lost and alone and hurting. Each of us has gifts that we can use. There's something else here that we have to consider. Sometimes we don't know for sure who we're helping. Jesus says in this scene of the Last Judgment, but when you reached out to the least of these, maybe somebody you've never seen before and you've never seen again, maybe somebody who you want to instinctively turn away from because they look different, because they're frightening to you. When you reach out to them, perhaps you're actually reaching out to God. But Christ knows what it's like to suffer, to be hungry, to be hurting. And He knows, all of us technically, who call Christ our Savior, love Him. And He wants us not only to love Him, but to love what He taught. And He taught about loving His children, the people in the world who know Him, and yet even the people who don't know His name, even the people who may have been burned out by a church, who reject His message because they reject the messengers who taught it, the people who were oppressed by the church, the people who were enslaved by the people who enslaved them, using God as their justification. Though they might reject Jesus because But the way the messenger is projecting the message in their hearts, they really love that Christ because they love what he really taught. To be kind, to be generous, to reach out to those who are hurting and lost and alone. That's part of the message here. There is another message too. A message about peace. A word that isn't used in here, but it's esteemed throughout the Gospels, throughout the New Testament. The theme of faith, not this mere intellectual acceptance of Christ as Savior, but the theme of loving Jesus so much that you want to do what he taught instinctively, just like you want to care for your own child. I mean, babies are not, when you really get down to it, all that easy to love. I mean, they look cute. They're fun to hold, but yeah, those 3 o'clock in the morning feeds get kind of old really fast. Changing the diapers, you probably do without that. The crabbiness, the impulsiveness, it's really easy to get mad at them. But still, it's burned in your heart to love them because they are yours. God wants that same love burned into our hearts so that when those people who need us, when those people who turn to us, when those people who need so much that we have to give approach us, that we don't turn away, that we reach out back to them in love. It's not always easy to do. But that theme of faith that runs throughout the Gospels, that's our salvation. Because even when we fail at these things, we feel remorse. We feel sorrow for our crimes. Even not right away, but it reflects on the reflection when we look back and see, oh man, I screwed up bad. How could I have done that? And I call myself a Christian. For life, the thief hanging on the other cross. The thief who hanging his pain and his shame next to Christ, suffering the same fate that Jesus chose for himself, and look at Jesus and say, I deserve my fate. But I see you as a Christ. Lord, remember me. The message of salvation is that Jesus could look at this man who had done so many awful things, but yet could feel love for Jesus, could admit his sins, could admit the justice of the sentence, and say to him, the only instance in the Bible where Jesus does this, today you, condemned criminal that you are, sinner you self-admit, today you will be with me in paradise. That thief could reach out to Jesus in love for his teachings, even though he failed miserably in living some of the life, and Christ could look at him and forgive. He chose Christ at that instant. You have to make this choice for yourself. Can you choose to love Jesus, knowing full well what that love entails? Can you choose to do these things that Christ calls you to do as best you can? Yeah, knowing that sometimes you'll fail, but also knowing that Christ stands ready to still welcome you. Can you choose that? Just think about some of the other choices you've made in your life. You've chosen to be married. I just celebrated my 40th wedding anniversary. We made a choice long ago, and it hasn't always been easy, and we haven't always been real good about it. We still choose. We choose to stay in that relationship. And it's the same as our relationship with God. It requires a conscious choice on our part, each and every day, sometimes each and every hour, sometimes each and every minute, to choose to accept Jesus. Not the choice of a slave, which is no choice at all. But Jesus doesn't call us to be slaves. Last week, the men's group had a retreat where we watched this movie called The Shack. And I don't want to get heavily into it right now, but I think that's a movie I'm going to want to show her someday, have a discussion among the whole church and not just the men. There's one wonderful line in the movie and in the book that it came from, where Jesus says, I don't want slaves. I want friends. We choose who our friends are, don't we? We make a conscious choice to make you my friend, and you my friend, and you my friend. Even though we might be very different, even though our interests might be different, even though our personalities might be different, to make a friend is to make a conscious choice to choose somebody, to have a relationship with, to be close to share laughs with, to share drinks with, to share faith with. Choice. Make that same choice in your relationship with Christ. Christ who loves you. Christ who died for you on the cross. To make it possible for you to never be separated from God. But you have to choose. It isn't God or Jesus saying, you go that way, you go that way, you go that way, you go that way. We make that choice for ourselves by how we choose to relate to our King. And in His name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you for worshiping with us today. And now, on behalf of Reverend Calli, and all the members of the Society of Peter the Disciple, we wish you and all the world a blessings-filled day.